Hey there, viewers at home. Tonight we're diving deep into the world of international mining. It's got more drama than an episode of The Real Housewives of Johannesburg, trust me. This time, the drama unfolded in Mali, where the government just won a $160 million settlement from Resolute Mining, an Australian company. Oh, and they may have taken a page out of a Liam Neeson movie to do it. See, just days before the settlement, 3 Resolute executives, including the CEO, were detained in Mali. They were on their way to a meeting about, you guessed it, that very same tax dispute. Coincidence? We think not. Mali said they were arrested for forgery and damaging public property. But it's pretty clear this was a power move, a way to gain leverage in the negotiations, and leverage they got. Resolute agreed to pay the $160 million, the first $80 million, straight from their cash reserves, like a ransom payment in a movie. The rest will be paid in installments. And guess what happened once the ink was dry on that agreement? The executives were released. Funny how that works, isn't it? This whole situation is a pretty big deal. It's a sign of the times, really. Resource-rich countries like Mali are fed up with getting the short end of the stick. They want a bigger slice of the pie, and they're willing to play hardball to get it. Now let's talk about that pie, shall we? Mali's a major gold producer. It's like the Beyoncé of gold in Africa. But for years, foreign companies have been the ones raking in most of the profits. That's where Mali's new mining code comes in. This new code, enacted in 2023, is like a sassy new haircut for Mali. It says, we're not playing around anymore. The code increases the maximum stake for state and local investors in mining projects from a measly 20% to a much more respectable 35%. That means more money stays in Mali's pockets. But that's not all, folks. The new code also gives Mali's government more control over mining operations. They're like the new hall monitor, making sure everyone's playing by the rules, and they're not afraid to hand out detentions, metaphorically speaking, of course. Or maybe not so metaphorically, considering those detained executives. This new code is a game changer. Of course, we can't talk about Mali without mentioning the elephant in the room, the 2021 coup. Since the military took over, Mali's been on a mission to redefine itself on the world stage. They're like that friend who went through a breakup and came back with a new wardrobe and a killer new attitude. This new attitude involves playing hardball with foreign companies, as we've seen with Resolute Mining. But it also means forging new alliances. Mali's been cozying up to Russia, much to the chagrin of its former colonial ruler, France. It's a delicate balancing act, and only time will tell how it will all play out. But one thing's for sure. Mali is done playing by the old rules. They're writing their own script now, and it's a thriller. So, what does this all mean for the future of global mining? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because things are about to get bumpy. Mali's bold move is a sign of things to come. Resource-rich countries are waking up and realizing their worth. They're not content to be treated like piggy banks anymore. This could lead to more tension, more disputes, and maybe even a few more detentions along the way. But it could also lead to a more equitable system, where the wealth generated from natural resources is shared more fairly. One thing's for sure, the mining industry is in for a wild ride. And I, for one, can't wait to see what happens next. Stay tuned!